What's going on, everybody? 360 Digital Closing Bell here. We're live on YouTube from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado, here on this gorgeous Monday, September 21st, 2020, episode number 121. As always, I'm your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, joined as always by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, and the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com, and an international news aficionado, Stuart Turley. How you doing today?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're having a busy day.
We're having a busy day, but we're also having too much fun, guys. We have a great show for you lined up today. We're going to cover everything that happened in the energy equity markets. Unfortunately, because today was an absolute bloodbath on the markets. Everything was red. I'm looking at the counter. The only thing that was up was 12-month strip in natural gas, and that was only up 0.7 percentage point. So not great there. Oxy's paying some stuff in cash. Shell's got their project reshaped. This should be interesting to figure out what it's all about. Denbury starts trading again today, and Northern Oil and Gas does their 1 to 10 reverse stocks. But we'll cover all that. Stu's, as I mentioned, got stuff at the international news desk. We'll kind of cover everything happening on the markets today. But first, guys, just subscribe. 360 Digital Closing Bell, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. The best way to stay up to date on all of your energy finances. As I mentioned, overall equities market's not good. I mean, we talked about all major industries down at least 1.5%. SPY dropped to 3.1 percentage points. That was the Dow Jones was down 843 points at 3.1 percentage points. SPY was down 2.5 percentage points. Nasdaq 1.6 percentage points as this tech sell-off just continues, really off the back of really not good COVID-19 optimism. I think there's a fear that a second wave and maybe a set of lockdowns coming. On top of that, now with the passing of former Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that puts that Supreme Court nomination in the spotlight versus what traders are looking for, which is a new stimulus plan. I mean, if you think at all that now the Senate is going to be occupied with the fiscal stimulus, now you've got to be kidding yourself. They're going to be completely enamored with all the political stuff surrounding the Supreme Court nomination. So that fiscal stimulus does not look like it's coming through. Part of what we saw in the markets today. On the crude oil side, guys, just weakness in the market, back down to 39.76. What we're trading at now, that's 3.5 percentage points. Natural gas, though, you want to talk about taking a pounding, down to $1.84. That's 9.5 percentage points on that index. Stu, I'm waiting around for $3.50 gas. Is it coming?
Yes.
When?
Huh?
When? We could make a lot of money if we knew.
I'm getting my oil and gas energy 360 crystal ball. Let me start rubbing that.
What do we got?
December.
Okay, well, it'll turn around at some point. Right now, these colder weather and the natural gas fundamentals are not holding up right now. As I mentioned, trading at $1.84. That's 9.5 percentage points. 12-month strip, the only green number on natural gas that we saw, up 0.75 percentage point, $3.13. I'd be remiss if I did mention crude oil 12-month strip. That was down 3 percentage points, 42.25. So putting the fundamentals on all of our commodities getting hit hard. XOP leads the way in terms of losses in the S&P 500, 45.32. That's a 4.5 percentage point drop. OIH, Oilfield Services, does not do much better. 107.05. That's a 7.5% loss. On the downside, though, we saw some big numbers, as I mentioned, as XOP contract was our biggest laggard. Invesco Corporation down to 13 cents. That's 15.5%. Next Decade Corporation, nice little offshore driller. You get your hands down 25 percentage points, $3.67. Battalion Oil Corporation, our biggest loser, 27% on the downside, $7.88 or $7.88 on the upside. Though we got some big numbers though. EQT Corporation was up 2.5 percentage points. 15.45. Barnwell Industries was up to 74 cents, up 7.5 percentage points. And Northern Oil and Gas off a reverse stock split. Not sure if this means anything. Up 9.26 percentage points to $5.09. Last time we saw Northern Oil and Gas trading in the mid single digits. Man, it's been a while. Wonder why they did this reverse stock split. Stu, what do we have on the international news desk?
Michael, we got a few things that are kind of really interesting. And first one is Shell. You and I had talked about that on the podcast this morning a bunch, and they're looking to slash 40% off the cost of producing oil in a major drive to save cash. Now, they're calling it Project Reshape.
Yeah. Project Reshape. I read this, Stu. The first thing I thought of was from Office Space, the Bills. Now, so what do you exactly do here?
My reshape is from a 1-pack to a 2-pack. I mean, when they sit here and they think about reshape, they are getting rid of oil and gas.
And specifically, I think, as this is ran as an international news desk story, these cuts are going to come from the U.S. shale portion of it. If you read the article, they're saving their Gulf of Mexico, their North Sea, and their there's one other asset. No, they're Nigerian assets. They're only other active in the U.S. shale. They're out of here, Stu. So while this is an international story because shale is international, this is a U.S. shale story because these jobs are coming from America.
And they're cutting the jobs. But here's the other one that's going to be a huge U.S. impact. There's 45,000 Shell network service stations. And if they're going renewables and electric cars, they're either going to close all these or have to remodel these. None of this is going to be a very good decision.
I would be shocked if they all of a sudden turn their Shell station into 100% electric. I think they understand. It don't bite the hand that feeds you, Stu.
But they're getting rid of all their production.
But that still doesn't mean. I personally, and you can listen to this on our long form podcast this morning. I think they're using this ESG as a disguise to making economic decision to move away from upstream oil and gas because they realize their assets that they currently own, they don't feel like there's a revenue source for them, and going forward they don't feel like it's worth spending the money on. And I think they're using this ESG, we're going to go clean, to help transition and provide cover. But listen to the podcast this morning, you'll hear our full thoughts on it.
Very well said. The next one is, we've been covering the Middle East for quite a while now, and we had talked about Club Med last week. It is now called the East Mediterranean Gas Forum, and Putin and everyone else was not allowed into Club Med, and so they're now calling it East Mediterranean Gas Forum.
I can't keep my face straight. This is so good. I'm sorry.
And so the ministers from Egypt, Israel, Greece, and Cyprus, and Jordan, and they left Turkey out because Turkey and Libya are bonding together to hold everything against each other. So you hang tough on Club Med. And now the next one is Libya. As we had talked, Turkey was coming into Libya as the EMP. The story ran this morning on oil prices falling because production's coming back online from Libya, and it's enough to scare the numbers there. Goldman Sachs, even though they said they're staying with their $49 a barrel for the year end, but they're saying that $65 by the third quarter of next year.
That's just staying strong on $49 oil. That's like me putting I'm 6 foot on a dating app. It's just not true, but we're sticking with it anyway.
You're 6'2", so
I wish.
But when you're talking about this, the oil market is facing a fork in the road this week. I heard from my sources next week, so I'm going to have to beat them up a little bit. But this is coming around. OPEC is mad at OPEC Plus. So they're trying to get rid of OPEC Plus. Club Med is now leaving out Putin and Turkey. And so you'll see not only Club Med, you'll have the Black Sea Club of Turkey, Putin, and Libya all joining hands and singing Kumbaya. This is going to be interesting in the Mediterranean.
Stuart Turley, international aficionado and honorary Secretary of State. I nominate you. I mean, this is some good stuff right here. When we move over into the U.S. shale patch, I got a couple things. As we mentioned, Northern Oil and Gas was our biggest mover on the day, 9.26 percentage points on the upside, $5.90. That's off the back of a 10-to-1 reverse stock split. A lot of the reason they did was to sort of improve their standing, especially, if you're in that weird market cap range of 100 to 300 million, you don't really like trading as a penny stock. You would prefer to trade at a. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trading as a penny stock. There's money to be made running a company that's. I'm not throwing any shame on. There's money to be made everywhere on that. But if you're looking for, let's say, an acquisition, if you're looking to get acquired, if you're looking to go raise more money, if you're looking, they're probably getting some good IR help. I bet. Just throwing that out there. Probably getting some good IR help from some people. it's nice to get that stock price up a little bit. Easy ways to do this 10-to-1 stock split, especially in today's stock split era, whether you're splitting or actually reverse splitting. Stocks seem to always go up, as they would say on Twitter. So might as well get yourself. So that's where we saw a northern move. Denbury, about a month and a half ago, we ran. They declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Well, today they started trading under a new name, Denbury Inc. All I'll say about them: same management team, same assets, same strategy. Still got debt. Not sure what's going to happen on that one. I think this is what we like to call they're in the mostly dead phase already. We're just gonna send them straight there on that one.
Miracle Max is gonna have to pop a pill on it.
He's working overtime in the EMP section. No kidding. Stu mentioned that the other thing I had from the internet or from the U.S. side was shell cutting jobs. It's an international story, but as we mentioned, it's going to come from the U.S. shale side. They specifically mentioned that the assets that they're only going to keep is Gulf of Mexico, which is managed by their London team, Nigeria, and North Slope. So if you're a U.S. shell worker, heart goes out to you. Unfortunately, it might be time to start beefing up that LinkedIn presence. The last thing I wanted to cover was Oxy deciding to pay Berkshire Hathaway in cash versus stock, and this goes differently. So remember, the preferred stock comes out to about $200 million a quarter. Holy smokes, Stu! $200 million a quarter. That's a chunk of change right there for somebody who's got $30 billion in debt. Either way,
or stock options.
Well, so they've been paying the last 4 in stock.
Right.
And,
okay.
And this is the first quarter, or October 15th is when they've announced they're going to pay these preferred stocks. They're going to pay it in cash. And if you go on the Reuters article, Reuters will tell you that this is a sign of strength of Oxy from a cash position. And I would tell you that I think Warren Buffett just said, I'm tired of Shroot Bucks. Give me some cash. For all my office friends, you'll get the reference. I just don't think he thinks Oxy stock is worth it anymore. I mean, that stock can just. I make no judgments on the management of Oxy, how they're managed. Just look at the stock price; it's going down. That's what Warren Buffett does. He looks at a chart and says, over a year it's going down. I'm out. Of course he wants cash. This is some huge. This is what heats me about Reuters. It's like, you're expecting me to actually believe this? Sorry, but he's getting cash, and when you read these Reuters articles, just read between the lines. It's why you should check out this show, because we take you between the numbers and tell you what you really do need to know. Stu, we miss anything today?
I don't know, but you were entertainment, man.
It's been a long day. I've been frustrated. A lot of pent-up energy. That's why I love doing the show. It allows me to get some stuff off my chest. But I think with that, we're going to go and let you get out of here, get back to work. Thank you for checking out the 360 Digital Closing Bell Daily Energy Market Summary of this gorgeous September 21st, 2020, episode 122. We will see you guys this afternoon. Or not this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon for the digital ticker.